Hello and welcome to episode number 58 on the Online Trainers Podcast. Today's topic is knowledge killing your progress? Hello and welcome to the Online Trainers Podcast, where we go behind the scenes to uncover the latest tactics and strategies top trainers around the world are using to get more clients, dominate their marketplace, and get their clients amazing results. There is absolutely no fluff here. I'm your host, Lynn Trin. Now, I know what a very interesting topic you might be thinking, Lynn, but we need knowledge. That's silly. What a silly thing to ask me on this morning that you're listening to this podcast. And I only say this because when I reflect back and when I look at the people around me, and I look at the people that I talk to, the people that I hang out with, the people that are successful in terms of business, in terms of their business growth, because everyone defines success according to how they view their own success. So it's different for everybody. But when I look at the people who are struggling and I talk to them, because I do talk to personal trainers around the world every single day, I really want to know what their key insights are. But more importantly, I really want to know what's stopping them from moving forward and taking action. And I think for most of us, it's fear. It's this fear of we don't know enough. Yeah. And I remember back when I was a personal trainer in the online space and I started out and I had this massive fear of if I'm going to market myself around Australia, let alone the US, because we're inside the US market and it's nice and fun. It's competitive. And when you can market into the US market, you can market anywhere in the world. But I had this massive fear of I don't know enough. Who's going to listen to this 5'6/7"? I like to say I'm 5'7", but I don't know. As time ages on, I think gravity's kind of pulling me down. But who's going to listen to this 5'6" Asian dude who lives in Melbourne, who doesn't have a full six-pack? Sure, he's in shape. And what's going to be so different about him? This was my biggest limiting belief. And this was the thing that I had to get over the fear of in order to grow. And in having this fear, I had to become the most knowledgeable person. I studied and I went to all these courses and I read all these books and I studied Poliquin, Check. I did ISSN. I did all these nutritional certificates just to really self-validate my own self-worth and knowledge so that I could prove it to myself. And one of the biggest things that I realized was that the more you know, the more you fail to do. Okay. And this goes with marketing as well, because the more I knew, the more I found out I didn't know. Okay, and this is what you're going to find along in your journey. And sometimes it is just better to be ignorant. And sometimes it's better to just take action, right? First, get a result and then take further action, reassess. Take action, get a result, reassess, take more action. And what I found, especially when I launched the dental marketing agency last year, what I found then was I was completely new and I took action, right? Because I didn't have all this fear of not knowing enough. And then I just said, look, I'm going to create this agency. I'm going to sign up dentists who are going to pay me $3,000 a month each on a retainer, and I'm going to turn them into my clients. And because I didn't know anyone, I didn't have this fear of judgment, right? Because who knew me in this dental marketing space? I'm a physiotherapist. I'm not a dentist. And so I was able to go in, penetrate very quickly and build this company and get 30 clients, right, in 60 days because I was fearless, because I took massive action. And why I'm trying to tell you this today is because when I look back, and I look back at the most pivotal moments in my life, in terms of my business, in terms of my growth, and where I grew the most, it was when I took action in spite of not knowing everything. And the fact is, what's happening and what we need to avoid is getting into that motion of, wow, we need to know more. We need to know more. Because once you start digging, you're going to realize there's a massive big hole. Okay, and what I mean by that is once you start learning more, you're going to realize how much you don't know. And the truth is you don't need to know everything. You just need to be one step ahead of your clients in order to lead them in the right direction. And I say that with all honesty and respect. Okay, you do not have to be the expert. You have to be able to lead them to the path they want to go. And in order to do that, you need to know where that path is and how to get there. Okay. And so I'm really reflecting on this because when I look back and I talk to personal trainers, I spoke to this one guy yesterday and he's just so stuck in his story. I spoke to him a year ago and I said, where are you at with everything since a year ago? It's like, cool, I'm launching this and it's springtime here in Melbourne. It'll be summer soon. But, he's been stuck on this project for the past year. And I'm like, okay, when are you launching your program? It's like, well, I'm going to launch it in summer. And I'm like, okay, well, that's about 2 months away. Well, why don't you launch it next week? And let's get some momentum. Let's get some traction. Because I know as a coach, as a person, as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, as whatever you want to call me, right? I know I do have a lot of names, but I do know that the longer you take to complete a task, the harder it is going to complete, and the chances of you finishing that task, like we saw on the poll yesterday when Donald Trump started out at like negative, like he had 5% chance of winning and then he actually overtook it. It was momentum that really allowed that to happen. And that's the same in your business. You have to get momentum, because the longer you leave something, the harder it is going to do. The harder it is going to take to complete, because you've got this incredible thing in between your two ears called your brain and your mind that's going to pull you out because of fear. You're going to come up with all these stories, excuses. So the quicker you do something, the less excuses, the less stories you have. And that's what I really want to share with you, because I'm really passionate about this topic of, I want you to succeed. I want you to take action. I'm for anybody who steps out of their comfort zone and puts their message out towards the world and can build a legacy. If you're doing that, props to you. I'm super proud of you, and I want you to know that I want you to keep going, because you're not crazy. You're one of the very few who are brave enough to step up. And if you haven't stepped up, it's okay too. But what you have to understand is that there's this thing between you and your dreams, and that thing is fear. And I don't want to sound all motivation-y just because I've worked with Tony Robbins and I've worked with some really cool personal development guys, and they've taught me all this stuff, but I want to be able to share my knowledge and what I've learned along the way, so that it can really help bring light to what you might be fearing right at this very moment in time, or the things that are stopping you at this very moment. And that thing is called fear. What I want you to do is have a look at if you're consistently learning and you're drowning information, but you're too paralyzed to take action, and stop learning now, and how you can overcome this fear, how you can overcome this cycle, this vicious cycle of learning more, not doing anything. It's actually to take a step to do something today. That's reach out. If you're going to launch that program, get 5 people, get them in, even if they pay you, even if it's free, get them in and get them started right now and get some wheels spinning, If you haven't got an expertise and you're not the expert, you're not getting results, I would go and get 10 testimonials first. And how you do that is coach people for free and get them to test your product and program and service. And now I know a lot of you might say, well, Lynn, I've read on some forum that if it's free, they're not going to pay attention. I agree. That seems to be a trend. But if you don't have any testimonials at the moment, you need results to begin with to give yourself that confidence that you can get results. Because it's then the equation of, okay, who came first, the chicken or the egg? We're constantly in that battle of, okay, but I don't have any testimonials. So how can I market my program? Well, go out and get some testimonials. Okay, but how do I do that? Go and get some people to try your product and service for free. But Lynn, if they try it for free, they're not going to get results because they didn't pay. Right? And so we're in this constant vicious cycle, and the reasons why you're thinking that is because you read too much in an internet forum, or you heard it somewhere else, and you gained this knowledge, but it's not helping you. And that's why you're stuck. And my mission, my goal, the whole goal of this podcast, and why I break it down to one key action step per day, is to get you to take action. I'm making this so easy. I'm not giving you 5 things to do. I'm giving you the one thing. And the one thing I want you to do today is really figure out if you're absorbing too much information that is actually stopping you from moving forward. Okay, have a look in your life. Have a look in your life, because complexity leads to inaction. Okay, simplicity causes action. If you make something so simple that you have to take action, you will do it. And when I look back at the greatest growth in my life was the time when I ran this dental marketing agency, the Grown Dentists. I signed on 30 clients in 60 days because I had to, but I just took action and I said, I need this. I need to do it now. There's no buts. I'm going to do this. And so at times I do catch myself as well. I do catch myself not knowing enough. I do catch myself trying to learn more, trying to become better. But really, I think back to the greatest successes and I didn't know anything. And I'm sure that can be the same for you. So today, your task is to really look inside your life, your business, whichever area you want to grow as a coach, as a person, right? Whether it's your relationships, are you overthinking things? Do you want to show the other person you love them? Show them that you love them. Stop telling them that you love them. Go and do something, right? For your business. If you want to grow your business at this very moment in time, you don't have the testimonials, go out and get the testimonials. Stop paralyzing yourself and analyzing too many options. Just go and do something, right? And the aim of the game right now is to do, because as we go into 2017, as we go into 2018, what's going to happen is we're going to drown in information. There's going to be more distractions, more information around. The last thing that I want you to do is not to push your business forward or your own self forward because you were too paralyzed by the fact that there were too many options. I'm really passionate about this, and I hope you are as well, because today it's time to get unstuck out of your business because you're needing or feeling that you need to know more. And the fact is you already know enough. Because at this very moment in time, if you're a trainer, if you're a coach and someone's paying you to train them or coach them or give them knowledge or advice, you know enough. And I'm sure 100% of you that's listening, You right now, you're that person, you're that trainer. If you're getting paid inside the gym, if you got paid inside the gym a year ago, 2 years ago, if someone's asked for your advice, you know something that people want. That is your task for today. And of course, I want you to share this podcast episode with another trainer, friend, accountability buddy, who is going to keep you accountable and complete this episode number 58. Complete this task today and go in, post inside the Online Trainers Club. I want you to succeed. All right. Have a fantastic day and I'll see you tomorrow. Alright, if you enjoyed this podcast, please leave me a 5-star review on iTunes and feel free to leave a review, and that way I can respond and I can take that on board in developing content to serve you. Now, if you're not a part of the Online Trainers Club on Facebook, please do yourself a favor and be a part of the conversation. That's where I add daily tips, tricks, and strategies on how you can build out funnels, how you can get more clients, and ultimately become a better online coach. Thank you for listening.